All right, so first, welcome to all of our new subscribers and our old friends. Just to be clear, we are not making a horror movie.
Aw.
But Michelle and I are going over our process for building a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle / Universal Monsters diorama.
Yes. This was a commission. A client came to us with an idea, and it was something we both immediately wanted to work on.
Yeah, so the client had pre-ordered the new line of turtle action figures, the ones themed to portray classic Universal monsters. And he wanted us to build a hybrid Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sewer lair combined with a classic Universal Monsters Frankenstein lab. A great idea.
Yeah, he had a lot of great ideas that he wanted us to try.
He really came prepared.
And he also gave us a lot of freedom to try our own ideas. And we'll go over a lot of that as we go through this build.
So one of the first things we did before we started was we picked up the Raphael Frankenstein figure for scale.
Now we can make sure the doorway and props fit the figures. And since this is a mad scientist lab, we designed the door to look like it would fit nicely in an old castle or dungeon.
Yeah, or really, even at the entrance of maybe a forgotten room down in the bowels of the city's sewer system. I know you're enjoying this horror movie music, but I set up some ASMR stuff to relax you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the actual sound it makes.
Oh, that's... Wow.
Asleep yet?
Yeah, on a bed of nails.
Regardless, this is the ladder. Every good sewer-based lair needs a rusty ladder to climb to the surface. But I posit, so does every well-equipped dungeon laboratory.
The next thing we did was use hot glue to simulate rushing sewer water or something through the drains.
Yeah. It's another thing that the sewer lair and the monster lab could theoretically share. A subterranean river of green ooze.
Right.
And I made it green by mixing dyes into some UV resin. I just wanted it to look like just some weird sci-fi ooze.
The client gave us a list of props that he wanted in this diorama. Books, Splinter's journal, a slice of pizza, very turtle-centric. But we wanted to add some monster movie elements too.
Of course.
So we sculpted a handful of spooky objects, including a femur and a turtle skull.
Yeah, and turtle skulls are super weird.
Yeah, they are.
Now, if you're going to make a Frankenstein monster, you're going to need electricity. Where does an illicit subterranean laboratory get electricity?
Maybe from some sort
By
of...
illegally tapping into the city's power grid to access an endless source of electricity.
Makes sense.
Michelle.
Okay, so we needed a long-forgotten junction box that looked like it's been tampered with.
Yeah, that's obvious. And even with the city's power grid at his fingertips, the Mad Doctor may need to tweak the circuits a bit to supply enough power to bring his monster to life. Thus, the Frankenstein-type sci-fi insulators added to the box. I also made one of those giant, oversized power switches that you see in mad scientist labs. This is how you send the juice coursing into your monster. Now, it was a little too tiny and fragile for me to build a working hinge. It's really just coffee stirrer sticks and dowels. But with the use of magnets, the client will be able to position it in either the on or off position for his action figure photo shoots.
Another request was a battle-damaged mouser. These are the robots built by enemies of the turtles.
Yeah, and we toyed with the idea of sculpting one, but ultimately decided to just find a mouser toy and modify it. You did most of this mod. You took away that foot logo on his head, you scratched and gouged it with knives, you did some repaints. Patrons this month get a video of us turning this from a blue plastic toy into a Frankenstein-era mouser that really fits the tone of the scene.
Considering its size, we knew the diorama had to be modular for shipping and storage.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
We used magnets to connect things so you could break it down anytime you needed to.
One more requirement. The client wants to put this diorama on his office desk.
Yes.
So he requested it be viewable from all 360 degrees. And that means both the fronts and the backs of the walls had to be complete, so no unpainted foam anywhere.
So that threw us a bit of a curve.
Yeah.
And it took a little longer, but I think it turned out pretty good.
I think so. And while that river of green ooze is a nice visual, we also made a rusty grate to cover it. And that'll give the client the real estate necessary to pose more figures in the diorama.
Okay, let's take a look at the final build.
Igor, someone's put my pizza on the sewer floor.
Dumb. It was dumb.
No, I like it. This was really fun.
Yeah.
And it was fun to build.
It was really fun to build, and the client loves it.
Good.
Now, there are other details about this that we didn't cover. The bones that we made, they're submerged in the ooze.
Oh, yeah.
We also have a green EL wire set just above the ooze to throw some eerie sci-fi light on things. The power box and the rusty sewer pipe are all attached with magnets and easily removable.
And as we mentioned, you can view it from all four sides.
Exactly. And we should note that we tried to choose colors for the diorama that would match the saturation and mood of that whole line of action figures.
I think Raphael fits in nicely.
He does.
The Mouser, too.
Say what you want, I think this does have a classic horror / sci-fi / mutant sewer lair feel.
Yeah.
And as part of that, need I remind you,
Aha!
the ooze glows in the dark.
Ah, that looks so good.
Right?
Yeah.
So not only is it a diorama, it's a nightlight. So he's really getting his money's worth. I really had a lot of fun working on this with you.
Me too. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I would love to do more of these.
Yes.
Speaking of doing more, this was a commission, but we've done a bunch of dioramas just for fun
Yeah.
here at the studio.
And we finally made a playlist with all our dioramas.
Playlist.
And here's a link so you can check that out.